President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh, participated in the World Climate Action Summit of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, which took place in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, in December 2023. Heads of state and governments of over 140 countries took part and discussed the issues of intensifying the implementation of the Paris Agreement, in particular meeting the commitments aimed at zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees. Mongolia joined the Kyoto Protocol in 1999 and the Paris Agreement in 2016. President Khurelsukh expressed Mongolia's position at the high-level meeting on combating climate change and desertification and presented policies and activities implemented at the national level. Mongolia has become one of the 10 countries most affected by climate change due to its geographical location and extreme continental climate. Specifically, Mongolia produces only 0.1% of the total greenhouse gas emissions worldwide, but 76.8% of Mongolia is affected by moderate to severe desertification. Disasters such as extreme heat, fires, droughts, and floods are occurring worldwide, causing considerable damage to the environment and human society. Millions of people have lost their lives due to war and hunger, and the number of refugees forced to abandon their homes has been increasing year by year, noted President Khurelsukh. It is deplorable that global military spending has reached an all-time high during this challenging period, measured at $2.2 trillion, as the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute reported. It is time for us to ponder and reflect on what progress could have been achieved and how much positive impact could have been on the development and progress of humankind if that considerable amount of money had been spent on the pressing issues of combating global warming and climate change. In implementing the targets outlined in their nationally determined contribution, Mongolia has emerged as one of the first countries to adopt the SDG-financed taxonomy and green taxonomy, both aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. In this context, Mongolia is successfully implementing interrelated national movements such as Billion Trees, Food Supply and Security, and Healthy Mongolian to bolster efforts toward reaching the Sustainable Development Goals. President Khurelsukh informed that Mongolia would join the initiatives, including the Declaration of Climate Change and Health and Emirates Declaration on Sustainable Agriculture, Resilient Food Systems and Climate Action, presented during COP28. Mongolia has proceeded with preparations for hosting the 17th session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification in 2026. At the end of his speech, the President emphasized that Mongolia will strive to contribute alongside the international community to protect Mother Earth and mitigate climate change. Later, after participating in the World Climate Action Summit of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh, addressed the high-level meeting of landlocked developing countries on addressing the unique climate vulnerability of LLDCs through partnerships. The LLDCs, while facing numerous challenges, including remoteness from international markets, high foreign trade costs, and dependence on transit countries, are most affected by climate change. Therefore, Mongolia supports the initiative with a view that the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, designed to assist climate-vulnerable countries, will serve as crucial encouragement for nations with special needs, the President stated. Research driven by science-based actual data is needed to overcome the unique challenges posed by climate change in landlocked developing countries. Thus, our country initiated to establish the International Think Tank for Landlocked Developing Countries in Ulaanbaatar, developed and strengthened it to become an independent intergovernmental organization. It has been making a valuable contribution to formulating development policies for LLDCs through the think tank. We appreciate the ITT for undertaking high-level researches, which is crucial for the members of the group of the LLDCs, in collaboration with the United Nations for the last 10 years. The ITT is capable for conducting researches and studies that contribute to mitigating climate change, overcoming its adverse impacts, and defining effective policies, strategies, and cooperation, particularly in the climate-vulnerable sectors of food, agriculture, and energy in LLDCs. The President urged all LLDCs to collaborate with the ITT on implementing research projects and called upon landlocked developing countries that have not yet ratified the multilateral agreement for the establishment of an international think tank for LLDCs to do so. By doing this, we believe that ITT will further enhance its research capacity, increasing the opportunity for research teams from LLDCs to work together on undertaking large-scale studies. On the sidelines of participating in the World Climate Action Summit of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, President of Mongolia Khurelsukh met with the President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, on November 28, 2023, and exchanged views on expanding the relations between the two countries in a wide range of areas. The meeting of the heads of state of the two countries resulted in establishing a legal framework in cooperation between Mongolia and the United Arab Emirates. Starting from January 2024, citizens of the two countries will be able to travel visa-free to each other's countries. Also, during the meeting between the two presidents, the parties finalized the issue of direct flights between Ulaanbaatar and Dubai. Ukhnaa Air Mongolian company will conduct direct flights between the two cities beginning from the 20th of January 2024. Just 2 years have passed since we opened our embassy in the United Arab Emirates. Over these 2 years, we discussed what areas we should prioritize and ensured preparations for establishing supporting documents with the relevant ministries of the United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates has temporarily closed its embassy in Mongolia. At this presidential meeting, the United Arab Emirates decided to restore the embassy in Mongolia. A new ambassador is expected to be appointed from January 1st, 2024. Second, currently, Mongolians have to travel to Beijing to get a visa of the United Arab Emirates, which causes much trouble and costs. Citizens of the Emirates also have to obtain a visa to travel to Mongolia. But now all kinds of passport holders, such as official, diplomatic, and ordinary, can travel without visas. Of course, first of all, this will have a great impact on tourism and business sectors. Third, Ukhnaa Airlines is to start direct flights in December. Many Mongolians visit the United Arab Emirates in winter. The direct flight will facilitate travel for Mongolians as well as businessmen to the United Arab Emirates. There are many opportunities for mutually beneficial cooperation between Mongolia and the United Arab Emirates. We have a lot to learn from this country. Among the Gulf countries, the United Arab Emirates has successfully developed its economy and managed to diversify it, getting rid of dependence on oil and natural gas. Opportunities have been created for active cooperation in the fields of tourism, food, and agriculture. Cooperation between chambers of commerce and industry is crucial for this. The United Arab Emirates granted halal certificates and started importing mutton. This certificate was obtained as a result of the active efforts of the government of Mongolia and the embassy of our country in Abu Dhabi. Accordingly, mutton from our country is being sold in large shopping centers in Dubai. The Emirates side considers it possible to import organic and eco-food from Mongolia. For our part, we are focusing on further development of our relations. We are working together in supporting each other in many mechanisms of the international community. Taking advantage of the pleasant atmosphere in political relations, we are willing to cooperate in the areas of economy, trade and investment, education, digital development, artificial intelligence, and green development. Furthermore, we are working on exporting mutton from Mongolia to Saudi Arabia.